As you know, the credit card of the city was maxed out. If you're looking into our investments coming up, we have to make sure that we respect the ratio of our debt, and we have to bring it down to $100 million. So yes, there's choices that had to be made. We're delivering on what we promised, ensuring that every dollar that we spend serves the interests of all Montrealers.
Tough choices. That's Montreal's Mayor, Soraya Martinez-Ferrada, on her first budget as Mayor of Montreal. Leslie Roberts is in studio, Associate Councillor on the Executive Committee, responsible for the English-speaking community, universities, the downtown core, and that's why he's here. Hi, Leslie.
Good morning, Elias.
Let's talk about tough choices.
Yes.
First things first. We'll get into potholes and snow in a second, but
Absolutely.
I want to start off budget and the tough choices because it seems to me like there was a bit of a punting on a few tough choices. Like Camillien-Houde, we're not going to do it. It's like, oh, well, it's postponed. Some other items where we saw postponements when I would think, well, why don't you just cut it? So let's talk about some of those decisions and why we saw postponements as opposed to definitive yes or no's.
Okay, starting with Camillien-Houde. First and foremost, the mayor is clear we're not closing it. Yeah. So when you say we're punting it down, it's what we're going to do with it. It's not going to change in terms of access for cars, but it's how can we make it better at what cost. So when it and we won't do that now because it's not a priority. It's one of the tough choices. What we are doing is we're fixing Camillien-Houde so it's accessible for the upcoming international cycling race. Things like take a look at the cliffs and all that, make it safer. So in that particular case, it made perfect sense. And you had Claude Pinard in here, the executive committee chairman. Now, I got to tell you, I mean, as a former reporter where I would go to these lockups and then interview, I have now I'm part of the inside scoop.
And you see how the sausage is made.
Well, and I see how Mr. Pinard is able to take the experience. I mean, this is a guy who ran Centraide. This is a guy who ran the Saputo Foundation. And he knows the importance of every dollar. And his mandate, and it was part of what Soraya ran on as mayor, is a responsible budget. And that's, he described it honestly with you as a boring budget, but boring and responsible are interchangeable when you're trying to rebuild a foundation in a city.
So boring, responsible, I get that. I think sometimes people want maybe more news sooner. There was a lot, like for instance, body cams, right? Oh, we got the money. It's over 10 years. Well, what does that mean? Is it going to happen? Like when I spoke to Claude earlier in the week about Cavendish, it's like, it's the start of the answer sounded good, but then it ended off, well, we're going to have a study.
But but the bottom line is the study is now going ahead. Yeah. So you don't want to jump way ahead, and because there are a lot of people who want to weigh in on Cavendish. What's the best? Tunnel, overpass, nothing. So it's responsible. It comes back down to that. Before we rush, and I'm looking forward to talking to Rick Lechner about it, actually. Alan D'Souza, of course, mayor of Saint Laurent, in charge of infrastructure. Trust me, it's being pushed from the inside, and Soraya has made a commitment.
The mayor had promised that she would be hands-on, she'd take charge. This week we saw her out. Maybe it's a little bit of a stunt, but I'm all for a good political stunt every now and again. She was out there with the shovels, plugging the potholes. Tell me about this challenge here, because I think everyone acknowledges it's worse than ever.
Yeah, and it's interesting, Elias, because I started my career as a junior reporter at Pulse News chasing potholes, and I'm starting my career as a politician at the municipal level chasing potholes and dodging them on the way over here from City Hall, actually. Here's the bottom line. Basic services we assumed that they are being carried out accordingly. We're at a point now where potholes, because of the change in weather, because we went from it was like cold,
very cold, cold, it's minus 20 overnight, to
a recipe for potholes, right? And then at the same time as we, normally the potholes are happening at a in terms of numbers that are very manageable. But put on top to the extreme demand that came with this fluctuation in temperatures is the fact that we have 4 pothole machines that are official there. 2 of them are not working.
Jeez.
And we didn't find out until we needed to get the other 2 on the road. So
that doesn't, 4? Doesn't seem like enough.
Doesn't seem like enough. And in fact, the mayor has said so. So we're in the process of looking at a city of our size. How many do we need? In a normal winter, there's no such thing here in Montreal, but in a normal winter, 4 should be enough, but they all have to be functioning, and they're not. That's the number one challenge. You've also got the same crews here who are the same people who are clearing the roads, clearing the snow, and doing the potholes. So you can't just have a pothole crew on standby. It's a waste of money.
Yeah.
You need to be able to give the skill set to a blue collar worker to be able to do both. And so they're going back and forth between the two as the priority warrants. Potholes were there, as the mayor said when she was out there looking at it, talking to the frontline workers, the blue collar workers who know this better than anybody. There are thousands that they have to be fixed. Did you know, Elias, there are worse roads, as we all know. Some of it's just based on the way it was built or built on the number of cars that go on it. We know where the problem roads are. There is no list at City Hall, no inventory of what our priority when it comes to roads to look for potholes. So one of the things Soraya has done is said, okay, you guys are the experts in blue collars. Give us the problem spots. Let's put an inventory together. So
that's a whole. The previous administration didn't have some sort of working list. Of the trouble.
I to be honest, I never look back.
Yeah.
We are looking forward. We're looking at what the challenges are, and they're starting with the potholes. And one of the challenges is specifically the way Soraya wants it is, let's just put a list together. Let's do a to-do list in simplistic forms and check them as we do it. And then there's also the whole issue with it's temporary, but we know that come the spring where the troubles are, we can actually put in a reinforced concrete, a reinforced road, so there'll be fewer potholes going forward.
Now, at least the snow is filling up the potholes, at least temporarily, but we have a snow dump that you have to deal with. Listen, I'm getting complaints from listeners about snow removal, that it wasn't like it's not being done. And I have a complaint here from the borough of Saint Laurent that it hasn't been done. I know that you started a snow removal process a little bit early, then you had to pause it, obviously, because the weather was changing here. And I have also another listener that says, hey, this is the normal. Like what we're seeing now, that's the normal from now on. And like
I remember the 70s. I remember this is not the normal. I mean, if you remember the side of the if you were walking through the city and you would have huge snowbanks.
Sure.
We don't do that anymore. We
have
the
but
equipment.
What they're saying is like the new normal is thaw, freeze, thaw, freeze.
Well
and no, it's no longer acceptable to have the excuse that, we're still adapting. Like now we have to know this is where we need to be.
100%. And that's one of the things. I mean, we as an administration are still adapting, but the philosophy reflects exactly what they're saying. Get used to it. This is the way it's going to be. So how are you going to adapt? How are you going to change the strategy? All I can say on that is we're on it.
And for today and the snow dump we're getting right now, what can you tell us?
Well, to be honest, I could tell you that they're in the process. Crews are present across. This is the very latest. I just asked the services for an update. So crews are present across the territory wherever possible. They're carrying out various types of manual operations. So we're talking specifically about snow plowing, and then Phase 2 will be the snow removal once this all stops. At this particular point, I mean, they're exhausted. I mean, they have been taxed beyond. So it's a question of making priorities. But I mean, this is pretty routine, right, for a Montreal winter.
Yeah.
So what you expect in a normal winter, you can expect, I think, with what's happening in the next 24 hours.
So it's every single crew is out.
Yeah,
doing everything.
100%. And the call is out for overtime, so that we are on it. So,
all right. Well, Leslie, listen. Thanks for trudging through the snow to talk to our listeners. I do know they appreciate you, and you're such a great voice, as everyone knows from your media background.
Thanks.
I think we all appreciate it. Come back real soon, okay?
Keep the complaints coming, folks. We're addressing them one at a time.
Leslie Roberts, Associate Councillor on the Executive Committee, responsible for the downtown core, snowy downtown core today.
I'm Dylan Playfair.
And I'm Tyler Smith.
We're putting loneliness in the penalty box by talking to some of our favorite athletes about the importance of friendship.
This is Bromance.
Bromance is brought to you by Charm Diamond Centers, proudly Canadian owned and operated. Charm has been part of your love stories and bromances for over 50 years. And you can find Bromance on the iHeartRadio network or wherever you get your podcasts.